Hey, I am Asan, and you are watching AutoCAD Drafting Tips. Are you ready to master the art of navigating through your AutoCAD drawings with ease? In this video, we'll uncover the essential tools zoom, pan, and orbit that will transform your workflow and boost your productivity. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, these tips and tricks will make your design process smoother and more efficient. Stay tuned to unlock the secrets of seamless navigation in AutoCAD. To navigate through the drawing, we use some certain navigation tools, and by certain navigation tools, I am referring to zoom, pan, and orbit. We can find those tools if we open the View menu as zoom, pan, and orbit. They can also be displayed in the View tab. If I right-click and from Show Panels, Options, check the panel Navigate, notice that the panel is now added to the tab. In addition, they are in the navigation bar under the View cube. In case this bar does not show on your computer, you should go to the View tab of the ribbon and activate the navigation bar button in the Viewport Tools panel. Mine is already activated, so if I clicked on the button, the bar would disappear. Of course, we can type the name of any of these tools in the command line and press Enter to activate them. However, the most common, quick, and convenient way to use those tools is by using the mouse and the keyboard. So, to zoom in general, we scroll the wheel of the mouse forward. On the contrary, to zoom out, we need to scroll the wheel of the mouse backward. Notice that every time I scroll the wheel forward, the drawing is being zoomed in, while every time I scroll backward, the drawing is being zoomed out. Now, if I want to zoom to drawing extents, all I have to do is double-click the wheel button. Once the view is restored to drawing extents, all the objects are zoomed in or out up to the point the whole drawing fits the screen size. Now, shall tell you about a little tip for when you want to zoom in on a certain object in the drawing. Let's say I want to see more clearly the plant there on the left table. I will drag my cursor to it, and without moving the mouse any further, I will scroll the wheel forward to zoom in specifically on this item. As I zoom in more and more, eventually, I can distinguish the lines of the plant, and I can modify them if I want. Now, imagine that I need to inspect the chair to the left of the table. Of course, I could double-click the wheel to perform zoom extents and zoom in again, with my cursor resting on the chair, but that would take some time to achieve. So, since I am satisfied with the zoom level and the chair is next to the plant, I will just shift the view without changing the viewing direction or magnification. I will hold down the wheel button and drag the mouse to the right until the chair is almost in the middle of the screen. This tool is called Pan and enables me to move to the left and to the right as well as up and down in the current view direction and zoom level, or simply put, it enables me to move the view planar to the screen. At this point, I will double-click the wheel to perform zoom extents and show you the last basic navigation tool, which is orbit. I will hold the Shift key down and the wheel button simultaneously and drag the mouse. Notice that the drawing orbits around the green spherical dot that appears in its center. If you also take a look at the view cube, you will see that it also rotates simultaneously with the drawing. By orbiting, the view changes from top to perspective. To restore the top view, I will click Top from the View cube and use the rotation arrows if needed. Now that I have shown you the basic navigation tools, let's see how we can find them in the navigation bar. The first icon is a navigation wheel. Once I click on it, it becomes active, and when I move the cursor in the drawing area, a wheel appears. In this wheel, we can find all the navigation tools I previously referred to. To use them, you can keep the left click pressed on either of them and move the mouse accordingly. In my opinion, it's not a convenient tool, especially for a beginner, so I will press S to deactivate it. The second tool is Pan. Once I click on it and drag the cursor in the drawing area, a hand appears. I will click again somewhere in the drawing area, keep the click pressed, and move the cursor around. The hand seems to grasp the drawing area and moves it according to how I move the mouse. I will press S once again to move on to the next tool, which is Zoom Extents. When I click on it, as we saw previously, the drawing is aligned in the center of the screen and becomes as large as possible to be fully visible. This tool deactivates automatically. Under the Zoom Extents icon, there's an arrow. When I click on it, a drop-down menu appears with various zoom options. From those options, The most useful ones are Zoom Object, which zooms to display one or more objects as large as possible and in the center of the screen, Zoom In, and Zoom Out. I won't elaborate on these tools again. The last tool I showed you is under the Zoom Extents icon, and it's the Orbit tool. Once you activate it, you can click on the drawing area and rotate the view. Under the Orbit icon, there's an arrow. A drop-down menu appears again with a few more options for Orbit. I won't elaborate on these tools either because all the Orbit tools are hardly ever used in 2D drawing. In the same way, you can find Zoom, Pan, and Orbit in the View menu and in the Navigate panel of the View tab. It's a good idea to test how those tools work before you move on with the next lesson, so I suggest that you take some time to practice until you become familiar with them.